You've seen several entries you may learn during the course. Another you may learn is the seated back roll. It's useful from small boats and swim steps that are close to the water. After your pre-dive safety check, sit at the edge, facing away from the water with your cylinder out over the surface, like this. Partially inflate your BCD. Breathe from your regulator and hold your mask. After your buddy confirms the area is clear, tuck your chin and lean back until your weight naturally rolls you in. Hold your mask until you bob back up. Then signal you're okay and clear the area for your buddy's entry. Besides dropping weights in an emergency, you need to be able to remove and replace your weights to make adjustments or for some entry and exit methods. Your instructor will show you the appropriate technique for your equipment, but here are some points that may apply to most systems. When removing weights, be careful not to drop them. Your buddy may help you, or you may hand them to a boat crew or someone on a dock. Before donning weights in the water, be sure you have ample buoyancy, and you may want to switch from snorkel to regulator so you can breathe in any position as you position the weight. With many weight-integrated BCDs, it helps to turn face up so the pouches slide into place, but this varies. Using a weight belt, hold the free end so weights don't slip off the end, and replace it with the loop method, like this. Cramps are painful involuntary muscle contractions. In diving, they're most common in the feet and legs. If you get a cramp, stop, signal your buddy, and let the muscle rest. Gently stretch and massage the muscle. Use your fin, like this. If your buddy has a cramp, you can help by giving her something to press against, like this. Wait a few minutes after the cramp subsides before continuing at a slower pace. After learning basic buoyancy control, the next level is hovering. Establish neutral buoyancy, then gently push off the bottom, like this. You should hover without using your hands and fins, rising and sinking a bit as you inhale and exhale. You can control your position a bit by slightly raising or lowering how deeply you breathe, but don't hold your breath. It may take some practice to get the knack. Your instructor will have you work on this until you can hover for at least 30 seconds. After you're properly weighted and neutrally buoyant, you check and adjust your trim, your balance in the water. With your buddy, swim slowly in midwater. Pause and relax to see how your body wants to orient itself. Ideally, you want to trim yourself so you tend to stay in a relatively horizontal, face-down position, like this. If your feet rise or sink significantly, or if you roll face up, your instructor will help you reposition your weight and gear for a better trim. This is something you'll gradually learn to adjust from one dive to the next. The Peak Performance Buoyancy course further refines these skills beyond what you master in this course. Ask your instructor or visit PADI.com for more information. Once you've experienced air depletion and practiced alternate air source use, you'll put them together. When it becomes hard to breathe after your instructor closes the valve, signal for air. Secure your buddy's alternate air source and switch to it. Your instructor will reopen your valve so you can use your own if you need to for some reason. After a few breaths and getting settled, swim with your buddy for at least a minute sharing air. This gives you practice in sharing air and staying together while swimming for about as long as it might typically take to reach the surface in a real emergency. Your instructor will have you finish by actually ascending to the surface. Orally inflate your BCD to simulate not having air for low pressure inflation. Keep using the alternate air source until you're buoyant. You'll begin practicing the Controlled Emergency Swimming Ascent, or CESA, in Confined Water Dive 3. Previously, you learned that you simply look up, reach up, and swim up, making an ah sound. Keep all your gear in place. Since confined water isn't very deep, You'll do this with your instructor horizontally. So for practice, as you swim horizontally, think of ahead as up. Your instructor will be beside or beneath you and signal when to start. Reach out and look ahead and make a steady ah sound as you swim at 18 meters or 60 feet per minute. Don't rush. You should be able to go at least 9 meters or 30 feet. After you've mastered this in confined water, you'll get to practice in open water with your instructor using a line for safety and control.